Hi, hello. Welcome to this video lecture, Comparative Literature and Introduction. What is comparative literature? Let's begin with the basics. Comparative literature is the study of literature that reaches across cultures, language, and historical periods. Actually, it is a study of literature across cultures, language, and time periods. It goes beyond national boundaries to explore universal themes and literary connections. It pushes past the boundaries of single nation and to examine the universal themes like love, death, identity in a global context. The field is deeply interdisciplinary in nature because it engages with the translation studies, post-colonial theory, and global criticism. It invites us to ask how do stories from different cultures speak to one another. It forces us to find that, to discover that the similarities between the stories across the cultures and nations. Definition and scope of comparative literatures. Let's take a moment to spotlight one of the most influential voices in the field, that is Henry Hutch Remake. He is a renowned scholar and professor. Remake played a key role in shaping the modern understanding of comparative literature, especially in the American academic tradition. In his widely famous cited definitions, I would like to quote: comparative literature is the study of literature beyond that confines of one particular country and the study of relationship between literature and other areas of knowledge and belief such as the arts, philosophy, history, the social science, and the science, religion, etc. Unquote. This definition is really very powerful because it expands the boundaries of literary studies. Remark emphasizes two major pillars in this definition. One is cross national comparison. Literature is not confined by geography, it is a global conversation actually. Interdisciplinary links. Literature interact with other domains of human thought, that is, art, science, religion, and more. Now let's turn to another key figure in the field, that is Susan Bassnett, a leading scholar in translation studies and comparative literature. Bassnett has helped to redefine the discipline to suit to that modern era. She defines comparative literature as the study of text across cultures, inherently interdisciplinary, focusing on connections across both time and space. This definition highlights three essential ideas. First one is cross-cultural analysis. Literature is studied not in isolation but relation to other cultures and tradition. The second one is interdisciplinary nature. It draws from fields like history, philosophy, sociology, and the arts to enrich literary understanding. The third one, the final one, is space and time, temporal and spatial connections. Comparative literature looks at how texts relate across different historical periods and geographical regions. Bassett approach encourages us to think globally and critically also. Her definition motivates us to see how literature is a dynamic force that reflects and shapes human experience across boundaries. Her work has been especially influenced in expanding the field of comparative literature beyond Eurocentric models, and it embraces diverse voices. It includes diverse voices and perspective from around that world. Interdisciplinary nature. We all know that comparative literature is interdisciplinary in nature, and this is one of the most defining features of comparative literature. The field does not just study literature in isolation, it actually draws from disciplines like history, philosophy, sociology, cultural studies, and linguistics. By doing this, the field opens up a richer, more nuanced interpretations of the text. The second one, comparative literatures, allows for more comprehensive understanding of how literature communicates with other forms of human expressions like art, music, and film. Think of how a novel might reflect the political climate of its time. We all study novels from down to centuries. The major concern of studying a novel is how the novel reflects that the socio-political, economic issues of the time only. The second, when we study poem, and we'll study how a poem might echo the rhythms of music or the imagery of the visually art. So comparative literature allows us to explore these intersections. It permits these intersections between text and context, word and image, and narrative and narratology. Comparatives also engage with a wide range of critical theories and methodologies. From feminism and psychoanalysis to postcolonialism and structuralism, these theories were widely used. This enables the comparist to analyze text not just for their aesthetic value, but for their cultural, social, and philosophical significance. In short, comparative literature is a bridge. It connects literature to the broader landscapes of human thought and creativity. Then we'll move to the historical context of the field comparative literature. Actually, the term comparative literature was first introduced in the early 19th century, but the field gained prominence in the 19th and early 20th centuries as scholars began to institutionalize it in universities. The idea of comparative literature or comparing literature is not new one, but the term comparative literature, it becomes popular, it gained popularity in the 19th century only. The key figures in the field are Saint Beuve, Madame de Stael and Charles D. Villiers, and they only laid the foundations for that. And another influential figures such as Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, and they advocated for world literatures. This laid the groundwork for this discipline, comparative literatures. Over the time, comparative literatures has evolved into a separate discipline. It includes a broader range of text and media. It reflects contemporary issues such as globalization, post-colonialism, and cultural exchange. Scope and focus of comparative literature. The scope of comparative literature is incredibly very broad. It explores shared themes like madness or redemption across different cultures. It analyzes literary forms such as novel, drama, or autobiography and compares movements like romanticism, modernism, and post colonialism. Very importantly, comparative literature also embraces non-Western traditions like Arabic, Asian, and African literatures. It gives us a fuller view of the global literary landscapes. Methods and approach used by comparatists. Comparative literature is proudly interdisciplinary and it connects literatures with history, sociology, psychology, art, and even politics. One key method is thematology, which identifies recurring motifs across cultures. Another is the study of influence and adaptations, tracing how stories evolve, borrow from one another, and respond to different contexts. It's like uncovering a hidden dialogue between writers across centuries. Comparative literatures in India. In India, comparative literature has a unique relevance. With its vast array of languages and literary traditions, Indian literature thrives on shared cultural histories. Scholars in India examine how Indian language texts relate to global works, and this study reveals surprising parallels and rich differences among the world literature. It also helps us understand how Indian narratives have engaged with colonial, post-colonial, and modern global influences. So, comparative literature in India, that also known as comparative Indian literature, that explores the complex relationship and influences between different literary traditions within India. Thank you, everybody.